Let's talk about pesticides. The children of Salinas, California are being exposed to toxic chemicals and the health consequences are insane.
Not only are the kids being exposed in early life, but in the womb as well.
And girl, you're not kidding.
According to the CDC, organophosphates are the most widely used pesticides in America. Pesticide companies have settled on treating this chemical because it's very powerful, but it's the farmers and their children who are paying the price.
Around 230,000 kilograms of organophosphates are sprayed in agricultural fields near communities and schools in Salinas, California every year. Now, how many elephants add up to 230,000 kilograms? I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
These pesticides are being carried by the wind and inhaled by the school children, leading to devastatingly negative health problems.
To combat this problem, the California Department of Pesticide Regulations implemented a policy on January 1st, 2018, prohibiting pesticide use between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, within a quarter mile of public schools and licensed daycare facilities. But is a quarter mile long enough to stop the wind from carrying these pesticides to the schools?
I don't think it's long enough.
We're not sure how well this policy is helping, but what we do know is exposure to these toxic chemicals are linked to neurodevelopmental disorders.
One study that followed children and pregnant mothers in Salinas is chamacos. This study follows more than 800 children for over 17 years and has published around 115 reports exploring environmental and chemical exposures and the health outcomes experienced by these Latino communities.
This study found a loss of IQ points and increased incidences of ADHD in the children of these families.
They found a decrease of 2.2 IQ points on average in these kids. 2.2!
That is a lot of IQ points. But that's besides the point. The real issue is that Latino children of Monterey County are 320 times more likely to be exposed to chemicals than white children. Monterey County also has the highest percent of schools with nearby pesticide application in the state.
This isn't about intelligence quotients. This is an environmental justice issue. One of the values that this country was founded on was the ability to work hard and create the best life for yourself and your family.
The American dream.
But these Latino children are being specifically disadvantaged by the harmful effects pesticides have on the brain and learning development.
These unethical pesticide practices are costing these children a fair shot at a healthy, successful life.
Can you even believe that? And that's not all. Another Chamaco study found that prenatal exposure to pesticides was associated with increased odds of attention disorders in children.
The autism rate in these children is through the roof as well. The CHARGE study found that the proximity to organophosphate at some point during gestation was associated with a 60% increase in autism spectrum disorders.
It's up to all of us to protect these children, but we didn't show up without some policy recommendations.
1. Increasing buffer zones and better enforcement of these regulations need to be implemented. If crop fields are within a certain distance from schools, the method of pesticide use should be regulated, such as the banning of aircraft application.
A direct hotline could be created to encourage school officials to report improper pesticide use.
2. Instead of organophosphates that are linked to such harmful neurodevelopmental health outcomes, a less powerful chemical could be used.
For example, neonicotinoids.
Neonicotinoids? I think I went to high school with her.
These are a class of pesticides which have much higher toxicity to insects over humans and animals, and can be applied directly to the soil, reducing risks of drifting towards schools.
These policy measures may seem obvious next steps in protecting these children to you and me, but there are some people in the White House who need a little more convincing.
Do you, Paula, see what we're getting at?
Dear Scott Pruitt,
we noticed that recently you announced your decision not to ban the use of organophosphate, which has been known to interfere with brain development in fetuses and children. Shortly after meeting with the CEO of Dow Chemical, shouldn't you be more concerned about these children's futures?
So we can see those in power aren't really doing anything about this, so it's up to you to make your voice heard.
How can you make your voice heard? Vote.
Not old enough? Get involved in your community. Inspire those who are. And once you are old enough,
vote.
Support your representatives who have these children's needs in mind. And do what?
Vote.
Paid for by the California Environmental Protection Agency and the Monterey County Agricultural Commission. Just kidding, girl, we got no money.